Thank you, Andy. And welcome to everyone. Oh, I'm loving the way the bears are just coming in. We're inviting you at this moment, if you don't have a bear, and there's one near you, just reach over and hold on to the bear. That's what we have them for, is so that we can all love on them and share with them the joy that we have, so that that gets passed on to the needy folks that we're giving bears to. Welcome. We're so glad you're here. And the very first thing we're going to do is rise for the congregational song. Maybe even those of you who are on YouTube can rise and sing our congregational song, God is my source.
So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Love is my source. Love is my power. Love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Love gives me everything I need. Joy is my source. Joy is my power. Joy gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Joy gives me everything I need. Peace is my source. Peace is my power. Peace gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Peace gives me everything I need.
Back to God.
God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need.
Yay! Excellent.
Oh, that is a wonderful thought to remember. It is a guide for our day, for our life. God gives me everything I need. So I drink that in as I breathe, and know that throughout this day, throughout all my days, I always have everything I need. It is simply a thought away, the idea that I can think a different thought, no matter where my mind may wander. I can have the thought, God gives me everything I need. And then I open myself to the power and the presence that just moves right in, bringing me the guidance and inspiration that I know that Spirit provides for me when I simply open the door. I am so grateful to know that in this service and in the hours to come and in the days to come this week, that there are words, there is music, there is laughter, there is feeling that moves into me, through me, as me, and being that God as my source. I am so grateful to know that this is the truth, because this is who I am, this is how I am, and I know that I belong to the one power and the one presence that brings me to this place, this moment. And so I give great thanks and enthusiastically say, and so it is. Thank you, everyone. So now we're going to move to the announcements, and so I'll just pick them up. The bear and I are going to do them together. We are so glad that everyone is here, and we're glad you're here, especially glad for those of you who join us on YouTube. You are such a welcome part of our center, and we're very, very glad you're here. Today, we are welcomed into our talk today by Reverend Valerie Reeves. She is the executive director. Woohoo! Yes. She is the executive director of Redondo Beach Center for Spiritual Living, and she is speaking today, and I know that we are all going to be thrilled and enthralled as she moves through. Talking about what's coming in the week, tomorrow, you may remember, it is President's Day, and our center is closed tomorrow. However, Men's Spirit Group is meeting tomorrow night right in the foyer at 7 p.m. And you will be able to have a very quiet meeting. No one else will be around. That's what I'm thinking. Now, at Tuesday, and every Tuesday at 10 p.m., we have a book reading group that meets in the foyer as well. They are reading The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. They read it, they discuss it, and they really learn all about the new thought, science of mind, all kinds of things through reading the words of Michael Singer. Join them on Tuesday at 10 a.m. All you have to do is show up. And then we have yoga class at 11 a.m. You bring your mat. The cost is $10, and it's a wonderful stretching experience. Then on Wednesday on Zoom, we have the book reading of Learn to Live by Irvin Seal. It is a look at the metaphysical interpretation of the parables of Jesus. Very interesting book. And you can email the office for a link, whether you're here in the room or those of you who are joining us on YouTube. So looking forward to next Sunday, we have the drumming circle is going to meet. So don't forget that. That is such a wonderful experience if you haven't had that. So that's next Sunday. That's the 26th of February. And it happens at 12:30. And the other things that are coming up, now you may have missed it today because it's before our service at 11, but you can be a part of the book reading that we have of the Science of Mind textbook that begins at 10:15 and goes until 11:15. That's also a lively book reading. The balance class that we have, we completed one earlier, and now the new balance class is going to begin not tomorrow, but the next Monday, the 27th. It is on Monday. It is at 10 o'clock. And so you can join that whether you were in the last class or not. We're encouraging everyone who even thinks this class might be for them. It's at 11? It's at 11. The crowd knows. I like crowdsourcing. It's at 11, and it is a class that if you even think you might need this class, I encourage you to check it out. Ask questions. Come and see if this is for you. It is at $10 for the class. And then on January the 30th, going back, we began the season for nonviolence. And so today is day 21 of the season. The word is inspiration. Think of at least two people who exemplify for you the practice of nonviolence. What is it that you admire about them? Practice these behaviors today so that others may be inspired. February is our Bears of Love month, and so we're encouraging everyone to bring in a bear to leave so that we can share these with people as we move along. It's one of the nicest and sweetest things that we do. And again, if you don't have a bear, see if you can find one to love on right now. And then the last thing we are announcing is that we are having our annual meeting March the 5th. So that's right here in the sanctuary. It'll be at 12:30 Sunday, March the 5th. So we're looking forward to having all of you all here. Be sure and make sure your annual membership is paid up. And so we encourage you to do that as well. Check in at the desk. One of the things that we always like to say and remember is how much we depend and are grateful for the volunteers that serve at this center every Sunday, Wednesday, and even throughout the week. Very, very much appreciate it. We have the sound and the tech team in the back. We have the hospitality people that working in Richelieu Hall and in the kitchen. We have office volunteers. It all makes such a big difference. And the last thing I want to mention, too, is today, after service, we're going to have a great big birthday celebration for Dr. Moira Fox, her birthday is coming up on next Wednesday. It's actually coming up Tuesday, but we're having the cake today. You want to do it? Happy birthday to you. Thank you for rising for us. It was a little spontaneous, but it seemed like we should do that. So there may be something out front you might want to sign before you go in and have some cake, a birthday card. But for now, we're going to welcome up Donna Elaine, who is going to share with us a magnificent song. Thank you, Donna.
Thank you. It's good to be here again. Where I am, God is. Where I stand, God is standing strong. Where I breathe, God is breathing life in and out and through me. As me, where I sing, God is. Where I dance, joy lifts my feet. Where I live, beauty's flowing free in and out and through me. As me, when I
peace. Joy is God is.
Donna, that was beautiful and inspirational. Thank you. Donna Elaine Miller. Good morning. It's my pleasure to deliver today's Science of Mind lesson based upon Reverend Valerie's message, Embrace Life. One of my favorite Broadway plays and movie is Fiddler on the Roof. Its setting is in a Jewish community in Russia in the early 1900s, as Tevye, the local dairyman, tries to embrace life while maintaining his Jewish heritage and culture as the czar evicts Jews from their community. And Tevye's 5 daughters challenge his traditions. Yes, embrace life. Ernest Holmes, founder of Science of Mind, in the glossary of his textbook, defines life as the animating principle of being, that inner something, capital S something, that makes everything live. I know when I do prayer treatments, or as Ernest Holmes on occasion called them, statements of truth, I give thanks for my spark of life and my consciousness, because it allows me to choose what I want to attract into my life, to more fully embrace life. I believe that life is change. Things happen. And the issue in Science of Mind is how we handle and deal with that change, how we choose to respond. I ask myself, how much life can I embrace in a more uplifting manner? Holmes wrote, how much life can anyone experience? As much as they can embody. They must bring themselves to the place in mind where there is no misfortune, no calamity, no accident, no trouble, no confusion, where there is nothing but plenty, peace, power, and truth. So, when change is happening, Dr. Holmes provided advice. Nature will not let us stay in one place too long. Nature demands the change in order that we may advance. When the change comes, we should welcome it with a smile on the lips and a song in our heart. One of the most powerful songs in Fiddler on the Roof is called To Life. And l'chaim is a Hebrew word, a toast meaning to life. Some of the lyrics to life are, to life, l'chaim. To us and our good fortune, be happy, be healthy, long life. Drink l'chaim to life. Please repeat after me. I love life. I embrace life. I express life in loving ways. I toast life. L'chaim. And so it is. Song. Thank you.
Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Be careful what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. Take charge of what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes our prayer.
So beautiful. Thank you, Mary. It's always interesting to me, our thoughts are prayers, because it's so meditative, and then I come up here with crazy energy that says, best day ever. Yeah. Good morning. Good morning. I am declaring that it is the best day ever, and that we are creating the best life ever. So as Mark said, my talk today is embrace your life. Embrace life. Every day, every moment, every part, all of it, the ups and downs of life. I have to tell you, when she was playing doing the meditation song, I was kind of mouthing the words, because years ago, there was a minister who was singing loud and proud, and her microphone was on, and it was not pretty. And somebody in the congregation took it and married it with a little bloop from American Idol, where Simon is saying that was absolutely terrible, and everybody just closing their eyes. So sometimes I mouth the words, even though Lois told me today that I had a good voice because we were singing a little song out in the hall. So I am knowing that we are embracing life, even when we have those days or those weeks or things going on, because sometimes we have stuff going on. Any of you ever have stuff going on? Yes. Yeah. And that's when I want to just escape life and watch an amazing movie, maybe not like Fiddler on the Roof, because that is deep and meaningful. But last night I watched Defending Your Life. How many of you have seen that movie? Love it. We're going to have to do a movie night sometime. I've heard that one of our congregants was actually an extra in that movie, so we may have to watch that movie and see if we can point him out. It's a great movie, and if you haven't seen it, Defending Your Life, it came out in 1991. Albert Brooks, he wrote it, he directed it, he starred in it with Meryl Streep. And right away at the beginning of the movie, spoiler alert, right away at the beginning of the movie, he dies. And I'm not laughing about that, but life is what it is, right? He has to go to Judgment City, where he has to defend his life. Did you face your fears? How many of you are facing your fears every day? Yeah. Or sometimes we're hiding from our fears. So facing our fears every single day, where we can embrace life regardless of what's going on. Can I step up to the plate? And after everything that happened with COVID, I know a lot of people started closing their doors, maybe stepping into some fear, not embracing life to the totality that we normally would. And the thing about this teaching is, this is not the kind of country club church where you come and check out what everybody's wearing. This is a deep thinking, deep growing center for spiritual creation. And in embracing life, we want to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves, that we are doing those positive affirmations. I remember speaking to a group at a college. They invited me to talk to the psychology class. I thought it was kind of funny. Anyway, I started talking about affirmations. And I said, when you start affirmations, it's like cleaning out a closet. It might get messier because it kind of stirs up stuff inside of you before it gets better. And the professor said, now I get it. So it's like, okay, keep going. When things start, and it's like, I started that affirmation, all of a sudden everything started upheaval in my life. That's when we want to keep on going. Keep those affirmations in front of you, making sure that we are loving the I am that we are. Now, in Rome, I was reading, because I want to go to Rome very soon. There in Europe, they have this saying that says, all paths, all roads lead to Rome. Have any of you seen that or heard of that? all roads lead to Rome. And part of the saying is that there were deep ruts years and thousands of years ago when the chariots were going to Rome. They left these deep grooves, these deep ruts. And on some paths, you can still see that. All paths lead to Rome. And those chariots creating those deep ruts, it kind of is what happens in our brain. In fact, if you look at the ruts, it kind of looks like our brain. And we form these neural pathways, a synopsis that every time we do something, we start creating a pathway. And this is part of the good news, because that's why we brush our teeth every day, because we've created some mental patterns. Yet we may have created some mental patterns that are not serving us, where we're having the same thought, different day, same thought, different day. So taking a look at our thoughts, how can I change my thoughts? How can I make sure that I'm being conscious of the things that I'm thinking? Making sure that these deep ruts are not something that just become habitual in my thought process. And now I keep saying the same thing over and over and over. So the founder of this teaching, Ernest Holmes, came up with a great way to fix that. Change your thinking, change your life. Simple, not easy, right? Because we get on these thought patterns. Same thought, different day. So what thoughts are not serving you? And what can I do to fix that? Now, if any of you have taken like one of the beginning classes of Science of Mind, like Beyond Limits, Foundations class, you probably saw the little example of muddy water, and we start pouring in the affirmations, and it starts stirring it up, and we just have to keep pouring in more. So in this change your thinking, change your life, it comes down to one word. Wait for it, one word. Repetition. Repetition. So when I was in school, there was this little story. Pete and Repeat were in a boat. Pete fell out. Who's left in the boat? Okay, I'll repeat. Pete and Repeat were in a boat. Pete fell out. Who's left in the boat? Yeah, we'd play this little game and just say it over and over and over again. So we want to make sure that we keep repeating the patterns and setting ourselves up for great habits that are working well for us. Making sure that we are loving ourselves through every process, regardless of anything that's happening in our life. And as I was thinking about this, I was thinking about as we embrace life, we get to embrace the joy, the excitement, and we also get to embrace the sorrow. And that's part of us being alive. I haven't told this to a lot of people, but when my mom was a very powerful religious scientist. We were all introduced to religious science when I was in school, and then we kind of went some different paths, but we all came back to Science of Mind is the best philosophy. And we were getting ready to have her 80th birthday. I had just moved to Oregon, and she said, I want to have my birthday, and then I want to just be done. She felt like she was pretty much done. She had done everything she wanted to. She was kind of tired, and I'm like, don't say that. She's like, well, it's true. Let's have a fabulous party. And then I feel complete. So we're planning this wonderful, fabulous party. I had just started a new job, said I just need to take 4 days off. And I get there. We're setting up everything for the party. I have my cousins over. They're helping put on her makeup and do her hair. And on the way to the car, she collapsed. And so, as any great child would do, I did CPR. We called 911. All of my siblings showed up really quickly and got her to the hospital. She did revive, and she said, did I OD? And I said, you did overdo it, you know, because everybody's here. And her OD meant that. I knew what that meant. It's like, yeah, you did overdo it. And I went out to get some paperwork, and the doctor came outside and said, I'm not going to be able to let you back in. She does have COVID. I'm like, okay, well, I was just in there. I just gave her CPR, so there we go. We hadn't made it to the party yet, and my goal was, how can we get her ready and get her to the party? And that wasn't going to be in the cards. And the doctor finally said, we're going to label this, because she had already had a lot of breathing issues. We're going to put this as end of life. And so we're going to let people come in 2 by 2 and say their goodbyes. So everybody got to, and then I sat with her until the end. So it was just the next day early that she made her transition. And I thought, isn't that interesting? Because she said, I just want to have my party and then go. Well, she didn't get to make it to her party. But my youngest son and his wife had sang happy birthday on the phone because they weren't able to be there. So I put it in her ear, and it's like her head turned, and slowly after that, she left. It's like she felt complete. She had affirmed it. She was ready. And even in that sorrow, there was still joy and excitement, because she manifested exactly what she wanted. And I thought, well, wouldn't it have been great for her to make it to the party? But I also know sometimes we get caught up in our head, and she'd have been judging who was there and who wasn't there, and so-and-so didn't show up. And, we get into our stories. And I knew that probably would have been her story. So her cleanest, easiest way was to manifest that ending right there. She knew the big party was happening. Everybody could have their party, sing her happy birthday, and goodbye. And in part of embracing life, we get to embrace the fact that it is not forever. And that's part of the embrace that we really want to take a look at, because if my time here is short and limited, wouldn't it make sense that I am living it to the fullest? The theme for this year is living life out loud. How many of us are living life out loud, and how many of us are holding ourselves back? I don't want to hold myself back. They have the statistics that say, whoever they are, that the majority of the people that have heart attacks do so on Monday mornings between the hours of 8 a.m. and 9 a.m., going to jobs that they do not like, jobs that are making them sick. And I have worked with some of those people. I worked with a nurse at one point, and she said, I've been here for 12 years, but I hate this job. And I'm like, go get another job. Right? Doesn't that just make sense? And she said, no, but I've been here for so long. I've got these benefits, and I've got this. And it's like, but what are you doing to your body when you're not loving and embracing life? We want to love and embrace our life. And if we're staying in the same place just because of the benefits, or because I've been here this long and it'd be so hard to get another job, we create everything in our mind. Start with the mind first. Change your thinking, change your life. Have that vision of exactly what you want. How do you want to feel? How do you want it to be? And then just step right into the picture. Who do you want around you? And that's not just with a job, that's with everything. And some people might say, well, I'm retired. I don't have to worry about any of that. Yet there's that calling inside of us. In fact, Ernest Holmes says it this way, and I absolutely love it. You are an eternal being now on the pathway of endless unfoldment, never less but always more. Life is not static. It is forever dynamic, forever creating, not something done and finished, but something alive, awake, and aware. There is something within you that sings that song of eternity. Listen to it. We want to listen to it. What's calling you from the inside? What wants to express? And are you holding back? I was watching a video, and they were showing music playing in this park. And it was music that you want to get up and you want to dance to. And nobody's dancing until finally one person, one brave soul gets up and starts dancing. And then another, and then another. And finally, everybody's up dancing. But many times we hold ourselves back. If you want to dance, dance. If you want to sing, sing. Or lip sing the words, But be true to yourself. Embrace that part of you that wants to express in so many ways. And embrace yourself just as you are and just as you are not, because it's really easy to compare ourselves to other people. It's like, oh, I don't speak as good as this person. I don't bring as much energy as that person. Who cares? You know what? We all have our own talents, our own divine spirit. So embrace that. Embrace life. Embrace everything that there is to see. Maybe there's a writer's club you want to go to. Maybe there's an improv class you want to go to. Maybe there's a dance troupe. I don't care how old you are. What do you want to do? There's a wonderful song called Brave. I'm sure you've all heard it. You can be amazing. You can turn a phrase into a weapon or a drug. You can be the outcast or the backlash of somebody's lack of love. I remember when my second-born, Christopher, came home from school one day, and he said, "Mom, one of the kids told me that I was stupid." And I said, "No, I wonder what's going on with them." And he said, "I know. I think he's just having a really bad day, maybe a bad life." Right? Because it's never about you when somebody says something, it's always about them. And when we get to that point of looking at our own self, what am I judging out there, and what does that say about me? Could I be a good finder, notice the good in people? Or do I find myself down a negative train? And can I tell the truth? Can I be honest with myself, even if I'm not honest with anybody else? Can I say, this isn't really working for me? Ernest Holmes goes on in the Science of Mind textbook to say, we do not change all of the patterns of our thought in a moment. It doesn't happen just like that. And we're so used to the microwave meals and the instant gratification that we're wanting it. I've been doing these affirmations and it hasn't changed yet. Well, what's my block? And let me let that go. We do not change all of the patterns of our thought in a moment. Rather, it takes place little by little until gradually the old thought patterns become transformed into new ones by some inner alchemy of the mind. It's that repeat. I want to say Pete and repeat, but repeat. And when I get into those places where I'm feeling down, I give myself just X amount of time. A little bit of time. It's like, okay, I'm going to let myself cry for 15 minutes. I'm just going to put myself all the way in it. Just really cry and get soggy in it. And then I'm going to take a breath, and I'm going to let it go and move forward. Because staying stuck in that pattern of, life done me wrong, I'm not feeling good, somebody kicked my dog, that's not good. It's like a country western song, right? Let's have a better song, a better theme that's going on through our lives. Be brave. Step away from that. It's like, okay, I'll let myself cry and then feel it, because I don't want to do the spiritual bypass and pretend it's not happening. Let me feel it, let me know it, let me grieve it, and let me move on. My youngest son and I, we went to the play in San Francisco. We won the Wicked lottery, where we got to go to Wicked for just like $25. It was really pretty awesome. And so we went to Wicked, and I'm listening to music on the way home. He went his way, I went my way, and I'm listening to music the next day on the way home. And I'm driving, and all of a sudden I'm noticing the sun is on the wrong side of my car. I had gotten on the 580 instead of the whichever it is where you end up heading to Sacramento instead of to Los Angeles, and I'm like, and you can only be mad at yourself for so long. It's like, all right, let me pull over, let me be really angry at myself for a second, and let me let it go. And know that I am always in divine time. Because sometimes we might be angry at ourselves, or we might be grieving, and we don't want to stay in that stuck pattern. It's where I might write and rip and let it go and move forward. Done. If it pops up again, write and rip, let it go. Done. Move forward. Embrace life. It's like, yeah, that happened. You know what? I'm in the divine time. It's all going to work out. Because things are always working out for me. I know things are always working out for you. Yeehaw, right? I know that we are embracing life and that we are creating the best day ever. And so ends the lesson. Thank you. Embrace life. Thank you.
The best day ever. Yes. Stand up, Valerie. That was wonderful. That was wonderful. The bear and I both think so. This is the time in our service when we are sharing with you our mission statement, and then we are collecting our offering. So the mission statement today is a message that I received recently, and I'll let it explain itself. A note to say hello. As you know, I walked away from the institutional Christianity of my youth and found my best connection to the divine at Centers for Spiritual Living at Redondo. I will always be grateful for the guidance and the teaching of Dr. Holmes. There's no CSL for me here where I've moved, and the nearest city is just too far away, but my weekly meditation group is filling the bill for me now. I missed California, but it was the right thing for me to do to move back home when I did. I'm enjoying the abundance of retirement here, but I want to thank you for being in place when I needed guidance and clarity. I am so grateful to get this message, and I wanted to share that with everyone. As the ushers are coming forward, we are going to share our blessing. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, to bless, and to prosper all those who give and all those who receive. I rejoice in the sharing of my good, and I release my gift with love. And so it is. And so we are going to welcome up again our wonderful singer, Diane Elaine Miller.
Thank you. Donna Elaine. That's okay. That's okay. My mother almost named me Diane. That was her other choice.
Wake up to the music. It's everywhere and everything you hear. All around, sacred sound is ringing in your ear. Give in to the music when you feel broken apart. Every soul can be made whole if you listen with all of your heart. Spirit has written a lyric, a melody that's playing in time to the rhyme within you and me. Lift up your voice, sing hosannas, rejoicing and strong. Riding on a rhythm or sweet as a lullaby, rising and falling, it's calling to you and I. When you let God sing along, life is a song. Breathe it in, let your body take hold. Feel God revealing you, loving you, healing you, telling the truth of your soul. Spirit has written a lyric, a melody that's playing in time to the rhyme within you and me. Lift up your voice, sing hosannas, rejoicing and strong. Riding on a rhythm or sweet as a lullaby, rising and falling, it's calling to you and I. When you let God sing along, life is a song. When you let God sing along, life is a do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Thank you so much, Donna. I really appreciate your energy and your love coming through your songs today. That was wonderful, wasn't it? Thank you. And we always appreciate Andy for being with us at the keyboard and for arranging for our music. It's really a wonderful experience. We're very glad to have it all together in a nice package. And Reverend Mary leading our songs, and so that's wonderful. So as we come to the end of our service and it's time for blessings, I want to remind everyone that as we do our blessing, that we remember when we're feeling sad at times, or maybe feeling that the world has just simply got a lot going on, that prayer is really, really valuable. One of the things that Valerie encourages us to think about is that we are never alone, and that we always have that power within us to change the story. And so one of the ways we do that is by blessing the situations, and keep doing it and keep filling that bucket till we feel like we know that God is my source, that we can embrace life, and that we can do all of these things that we know we can do. We just can get distracted sometimes. And so all we want to do is come back to that place, that home, which is God is my source. So let us embrace life and embrace the idea that there is a power greater than we are, and we're sharing that with everyone in the world who wants a prayer. And so here we go. I know divine love enfolds me. Divine light leads me. Divine life lives in me. Divine wisdom inspires me. Divine compassion expresses through me, and divine power protects me. All that I am is Spirit's life and expression. It is good and very good. With deep joy and generosity filling me, I go forward now in sacred service, supporting a compassionate world that works for all. I move through my days in grace and ease, in peace and love, in health and wellness, in fullness and plenty, and in loving relationship with all. What I now know for myself, with blessing and in deep gratitude, I know for all life. There is only God, there is only God, there is only God. And so I want to remind you, as our practitioners will come forward and stand here and be ready to offer prayer for you if you ask for it. Please remember they're here, and our ministers are coming up to sing the peace song, and we invite everyone to be here in prayer